Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. I'm off on a little overnighter hiking on Wildcat Hollow Trail, and that's near Burr Oak State Park, which is located near Gloucester, Ohio, which is in southeastern Ohio. Expected to have pretty decent temperatures, but we're going to have some high humidity and we're going to get a little bit of rain too. I'm using my cell phone for the very first time to video with, so if it turns out awesome, because I'm getting really tired of messing with my GoPro, and with the rain expected, I can put this in a Ziploc bag and we're good to go. But anyway, if it doesn't turn out, you'll never know because I won't post this video. Yeah, I've been on the trail for a little bit, and me and the guys are taking a little breather. The humidity is like rainforest. And this area normally is always so dry. I mean, all the creeks here are just nothing but sand and rocks. It's been unusually rainy the past couple weeks, and now all the streams are actual streams, including the trail. And if you're really into mud running, yeah, that's what our trails are like. Right now we're about halfway up the side of a ridge, so it's not too bad, but yeah, we've been slugging through a lot of mud. Yeah, we're up on the ridge now. I don't know how fogged up my lens is, but normally I try to wear my glasses when I'm on the trail while I'm walking through the woods, but it was pointless today because I could not keep them from fogging up.
Then he's trying to cut.
Well, we are at camp. This is it.
His mom's kitchen. He goes inside. He's like, ah. His mom's like, hold still. And he's like, barely cut.
Well, that's okay. That's fine. We're good. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and ground our gear, rest a couple minutes, and we have some water that Bill cached for us, and we're going to trek back and get it because we weren't really anticipating there being a water source. But actually where we are, I mean, we'd have to hike a little ways to get to the creek, which is unusually wet at the moment. And so we'll bring you back as we start grounding their gear and setting up camps.
And my feet are muddy.
Okay, the reason I'm on this little overnighter hike is because a little while back my buddy Bill contacted me and wanted to know if I wanted to join he and his son on this Wildcat Hollow adventure. I said, yeah, absolutely. It's been a long time since I've been able to spend some time with him, so I said, absolutely. Well, I had lots of other stuff going on, and so I had to get all of that stuff done, and then I had to rush around and try to get everything ready for this trip, and this is just part of it. We're going to follow it up with another part tomorrow, and we were able to get my buddy John, which if you've watched the channel for any period of time, you've seen him on some of my videos, and we were able to get him down with us. So we decided we all do this, and we were hiking out, and the trail was awful. I mean, it was awful. It's like a creek. Matter of fact, there was a couple points to where I actually chose to walk on the rocks in the creek as opposed to walking on the trail. And I'll show you some of that stuff here in just a second when I walk in. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a little bit of the trail as I'm walking back to camp. And then I'm going to let my buddies introduce themselves, or I'll introduce them, and they're going to show you their camp setup and tell you about the pack that they brought in. And so that way you can see a little variety of what we've chosen to bring with us on this leg of our little adventure. Now, this section of the trail is actually where we'll be walking tomorrow as we leave this camp. So this is the direction we're going to be headed out tomorrow. This is the trail headed back to the camp. And I will tell you right now, the most important piece of kit I brought with me on this hike was my trekking poles. There were numerous areas that even with trekking poles, the guys were slipping and sliding all over the place, and it was quite treacherous, and there was definitely something that was worth its weight in gold to be able to have those trekking poles. Now this is actually the trail that goes up through here, and this little side trail is the side trail that goes up to the campground. There's campgrounds all over the place along Wildcat Hollow Trail. I think that the entire trail is about 24 miles long, and it's absolutely beautiful here. The only other times that I've been here, it's been incredibly hot and dry, and there's not a lot of natural water sources here. Every time I've been here, the creeks have been completely dry, no water. So what we chose to do is we chose to cache water just in case, and which helped out quite a bit, so we didn't have to carry quite so much water in with us, and we really didn't know what the water source situation would be. There are no water points on this trail, and as you can see, it's quite beautiful here. This is a natural totem pole. It's just outside of our camp. There's all those burls on this dead tree. I just thought it looked really, really cool. And each one of them, you have to use your imagination on some of them, but every one of them, you can sort of see a face in it. And they're sort of gruesome, but I think it's pretty cool. Okay, here's our camp. And right there is John. And over here, the shorter of the two is Ben from Benson Bushcraft. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. Benson Bushcraft is his own YouTube channel, doing great. And his dad, which is Bill right there, longtime friend. Bill, I've known you for what, about 29 years?
At least.
Yep. And John, I've known you for about 39 years.
Yeah, well, I'm 57. You met me when I was 18, so it's been a minute.
Yeah, been a little bit. Now, Ben, how long have I known you?
My whole life, 9 years.
Yeah. So, as you can tell, we have a lot of history in this group. Well, who would like to show their camp off first? All right, Ben.
So, if I take you in here, you have my grand trunk hammock. We have the tarp over top of our hammocks, and that's pretty much our setup for.
Well, show them, buddy. We have the buddy bars in here between the two hammocks, so that we can both sleep on the same tree.
So we don't go.
That's right. So we're not like laying against each other. We got the DD hammock here. We each have Osprey packs. We got our pack covers on here right now, but
Let's take them off and show them.
yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Okay, so I got the Benson Bushcraft hat. These are not
Excellent.
for sale. And take my pack cover off. I have the Tempest Pro 18.
Excellent.
Got the Yeti water bottle. I have this neat water bottle that collapses down quite a bit. That's pretty neat, and that's pretty much all that my pack has.
Well, that looks like a fine pack. Was it comfortable packing in?
Yep.
Cool. Did you get tired today hiking in?
Yeah,
How'd you like the conditions of the trail?
I hated them.
Now, I noticed you're wearing your Crocs. Are those what you hiked in with?
Nope.
What did you hike in with?
I wore my darn tough socks with these Nikes.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am gonna set these out by the fire, so they can dry out.
I think that's a fine idea. Yeah, everything got wet, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well, that's pretty much all for me.
Now, Bill's the one that set this thing up a good while back. And what made you think of Wildcat Hollow?
Well, we were down here oh my gosh, I was going to say a few, but it's probably closer to like 20 years ago now. I was down here with some of our old reenactment buddies.
Yeah.
And I was really looking for something that would be appropriate mileage-wise for Ben, because this is his first backpacking experience. He's done lots and lots of camping and stuff just in the woods and truck camping, but we wanted to do something that would have a mileage that would not, you know, make him resent backpacking again. So you know, we did about 2.5 miles today, and it looks like probably another 2 tomorrow. Actually, I think, what did we say? We did like 3 today, actually, because we came around on the loop. I guess big thing to think about with Wildcat Hollow, of course, is that you need to, you got to put some water, cache some water for yourself somewhere along the trail, because it says that the water out here is contaminated from the mining activities.
Yeah.
So filtering is not appropriate, but we have we had bottled water that I put along the trail earlier today,
Which I really appreciated.
and so it was nice. Yeah, it was nice to have some fresh water to come across and not have to carry gallons and gallons of water. But yeah, we're looking to have a nice night tonight, and hopefully another evening tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, Bill.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. There's John from YouTube or YouTube land of Boondockery guest appearances.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, show us your camp, John.
All right, so I've got the One Tigris Bushcraft Bungalow. I haven't used it in a while. I'm normally a tree dweller. I love my hammock. In fact, I'm going to be hammocking tomorrow. But hiking in here, I just wanted to give this thing a try again. Got my climate pad inside there. What I like about this setup is you get a lot of airflow. And if you really need to, in a pinch, you can pitch this out like an awning. So if you needed some cover but still want the airflow, you can pitch that out like this, no problem at all.
Excellent.
I just got to kick back today because the weather finally got nice. It was pretty brutal this morning. And
Yeah,
it was a mud pit getting up here, but now that we're up on the ridge, it's a lot nicer.
Oh yeah, these pine needles are very comfy.
Oh yeah, and I broke out a backpack. I'll dig it out here, that I have not used in a while. I have a bunch of backpacks, so does John. This is an Osprey Atmos 65. I bought this a number of years ago. I got a real good deal on it, an outfitter up by one of my friends up closer to Chardon, Ohio. A friend of mine had one of these and took it out to Colorado. We did a backpacking trip out there, and I was really impressed with it. So I got a good deal on this. It's a very comfortable, very functional pack. I really like it.
Awesome. Yeah, I see you got some ventilation toward the back part of that tent.
Yeah.
And that's really nice.
You get a little airflow coming through both ways, and that's a big help. Like I said, I'm not normally a ground camper, but I haven't used this in a good while. And I just kind of wanted to break it out, and this seemed, since we weren't going very far, this seemed like a good trip to kind of bring it back out and see how it does.
Yeah, excellent. I love the fact that it's just the shelter. You're using your trekking poles for the ridge supports, and you very easily could use sticks that you've cut, and you got a guide lined out, so that would be very compact, very lightweight, and very easy to set up.
They also make excellent sock dryers. Because we got soaked walking.
Oh yeah. Well, most of the day, we've been here for a good little while now, and most of the day I was walking around barefoot too while my shoes and socks dried out. And
The pine and loam down here feels good on my tootsies.
Yeah. Now we have a little chair here. This right here, you know, John and I both had these chairs for a long time. They're sort of interesting because you can sit on them and at the same time give yourself a prostrate exam. They're very interesting in the idea, but they're, I guess for our age, they're not real comfortable.
Well, I couldn't find my Helinox chair, which somehow fell into some gear black hole in my basement. So I'm gonna have to hunt that up. But this kind of came up a little bit last minute for me, but it's been great to come out with you and to get to see Bill and Ben again, with whom I haven't seen in a couple of years, probably.
Yeah.
So this has been fantastic, and it's turned out to be a great day. So.
Oh yeah, it's been beautiful.
I'm having a blast.
Great. Well, thank you, John.
No problem.
Cool. Well, we'll just jot over here, and you recognize this from a couple videos ago. That is the One Wind tar tent. I want to call it tarp tent because a tar tent is something different, and it's pretty much the same setup I did in the video. It's just super easy to set up, lightweight, and we're going to see how it does. I was thinking we were going to get a chance to see how it does with the rain, but unfortunately, the weather has passed us by. Not that I'm going to complain, but we'll keep taking it out until we can see how it does with the foul weather. Now, the pack that I used was a Mystery Ranch Mountain Ruck, and it's extremely comfortable, and I think that the total pack weight wound up being 35 pounds, and 7 of it is the pack itself. So it's a heavy pack, but it's super heavy duty, very well made. Well, folks, that's the camp, and I may or may not bring you back this evening. If not, I'll definitely bring you back tomorrow when we're enjoying our breakfast, and we'll share a little bit about what we've chosen to bring out to eat, and then we'll be headed to our next camping location. Good morning, folks. I had a great night's sleep last night. Ground camping's not great for old dudes. So yeah, we tossed and turned a little bit, but we did get a decent amount of sleep. Didn't get too cold. It wasn't too warm. It was just about perfect. And a little bit of a nip in the air this morning is sort of nice and refreshing. And enjoying it. We are pseudo breaking down camp as we're waiting for our freeze-dried meals to reconstitute. Here's Ben. He's got his hot chocolate going. The rest of us have already had at least 1 cup of coffee, and possibly 2. And I think Ben is a huge fan of freeze-dried meals. What do you say there, Ben?
I love them.
Yeah.
We got the breakfast skillet for this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And many more meals to come.
Yes, yes. Now, I personally, the entire time I've been out, I have been enjoying Schwartz Foods freeze-dried meals. This morning I'm having the biscuits and gravy, which was for a long time my favorite meal of theirs. But now it is the buffalo chicken mac and cheese. And I also had the chicken and dumplings, and all of which are absolutely fantastic. John introduced us to a new brand, and we had, what was the one you had last night, John?
Last night was kimchi.
Yeah.
With pork belly and tofu and vegetables. It was fantastic. This morning I'm having bison beer black bean chili. This is from a company called Stowaway Gourmet. And they're a little pricier than like Mountain House, but they are absolutely fantastic. I have not had a bad one, and I've had basically every one they made. They make some great breakfasts. They make some great meals. They are absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend people check these out.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, folks, we're headed out to our next camp, and I want to show you that we are huge believers in leave no trace. I have no idea what that siren is, but as you can see, we've cleaned up really well, made sure that the fire pit was completely doused and blended, and it's cold to the touch. Now, only got a couple miles to go, and then we'll be headed to our next campsite. Okay, folks, we are at the second camp, which actually happens to be the Burr Oak Cove campground. There's nothing fancy here, just spaces, and it's only $15 per space to rent per night. So Bill went ahead and set this up. This is what he wants to do, so we're here. It has been oppressively hot today. I mean, it's been horrible, like not make you feel good hot. And so soon as we got here, it was early in the day, still sort of cool a little bit. So we went ahead and set up camp. And John and I, we went ahead and pulled out from our vehicles because we knew we were going to be vehicle camping to some degree. We pulled out our hammock kits, which we're going to show you. And it's, you know, right now it's 5:10. It's still pretty hot. You can probably see the sweat. But we're going to be doing some steak and taters tonight over the fire. And just going to be chilling. But the best thing about today is we have pretty much been resting in the shade as much as we possibly can. And just talking, sharing fellowship and brotherhood. And that is something every person needs, is they need to spend time with their people. You need to talk about life. You need to talk about things that are going on. You need to reminisce. You need to rekindle those sparks that you had when you first started talking. You first met each other. You started doing stuff, camping, going hiking, things like anything that you do like that. That's so important. It's an aspect of life. Life sort of makes you, forces you to put on the back burner. And it's absolutely so quintessentially important to pull any bit of that you can and to do it. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any period of time, you will recognize my One Wind summer hammock rig. I bought all this stuff myself. It was not given to me. I bought all kinds of One Wind stuff, and a lot of it I loved, which is the stuff you see in front of you now. And a lot of it, not a lot of it, only a couple things did I not like. But what I have here is the tarp, and the tarp is pretty cool. I'm not going to go into a whole lot detail with it because you can go back and watch the videos. But this one is actually a rectangular tarp, but there's bungee cords on the extreme corners that you can connect together underneath with a little D-ring, and you basically create a hexagon tarp. And I mean, it works wonderfully. And if it were to get sort of stormy or something like that, which is not going to happen tonight, unfortunately, it's going to still be pretty warm. You can actually connect those corners together with a bungee, and you are creating an enclosed tarp. Now, granted, the bottom is open, but you know, it still works the same. It really protects you from the weather very well. So I've got the tarp. I've got my hammock with the built-in bug net. I got my top quilt and bottom quilt, which these are all summer weight. And I remember complaining a couple times that I used this when it dipped down to like in the 50s. It was sort of chilly, but it's not going to get that low tonight. It will be in the mid 60s, which this stuff should be perfectly fine. And the beautiful part about the underquilt is if by any chance it were to get really uncomfortably cold or warm, all I have to do is to disconnect this area here of the bottom quilt, and it drops down low enough to where it's not even in contact with the hammock. So, and if by any chance it starts cooling down, I can reach down on either side, pull it back up, reconnect it, and I've got insulation. This right here is a gear loft that goes underneath your hammock. That's usually where I put my boots. But when there was shade here, I was actually sitting in this as a hammock chair, which is super comfortable. I almost took a nap here. So next we're going to take a look at John's camp. His is a little bit, I guess, higher quality than the One Wind stuff. The One Wind stuff is built for affordability. John's is a little higher end, but it has served him well for a very long time. And with the quality that's constructed, it's going to be serving him way long into the future. Okay, John, show us around.
Hi, welcome back, guys. So this is our camp today. After our hike of Wildcat Hollow, the loop we did in less than ideal conditions, although it was cooler, but it was very muddy, very muddy. We're camped over at Burr Oak State Park now at a primitive campsite in southern Ohio. So John's talked to you about his setup. I have right here a war bonnet hammock. They're a company out of Colorado, and this is also one of their tarps. One of the unique things about the war bonnet is it is a hammock that you kind of lay in with a side lay, and there's an actual foot box sewn into the hammock. And when you get your feet in that foot box and lay your head to the left side here, the hammock really flattens out, and it's super, super comfortable.
Now, do they call that an asymmetric?
I believe so.
Okay.
So right now I have my summer cover on it, but I also have a winter cover that's this same material you see here that will seal the hammock in. The other interesting thing about a war bonnet is there's a shelf inside your hammock. And you probably won't be able to see it on the video, but I've had my Nalgene up here, many other items, and it gives you a shelf inside your hammock, which is really, really nice. Hammock Gear originally had a shop down in Lancaster, Ohio, just a sew shop, and now they're located over in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. So if you're an Ohioan, it's a local-based company. Highly recommend their stuff. This is a 40-degree set. I also have a 20-degree set for fall weather, and I have a 0-degree set for winter camping, because we do a good bit of winter camping with the group. I have been absolutely impressed all the years I've had this with this hammock. Today, getting to set it up compared to sleeping in the one Tigris bushcraft bungalow, huge difference for me. I'm 57, so when I wake up and my hips aren't sore, and my back's not sore, my shoulders aren't sore, I just can't ground camp that comfortably anymore. Nothing against the bushcraft bungalow, it's an excellent piece of kit. It's just this is a way better option for me, and I really, really enjoy hammock camping. Pretty straightforward, ease of setup, and I absolutely enjoy this setup. I've used it for many, many years, and it served me very well.
Well, thank you, brother. Now we're going to bop over here. We're going to check out Ben tending the fire, which, by the way, Ben from Benson Bushcraft built this fire, has been maintaining it. He's been roasting some potatoes on it as well. But we're going to get this fire burned down into coals so we can cook our supper this evening. And right now, even though you saw it before, Bill's actually going to be able to show you much more clearly the spreader bar setup that he has for his and Ben's dual hammock setup.
Hi, boondockers. Come on over. So, because Ben and I are camping together, and we always camp together because he's still a young boy, you know. So I want to keep him close to me, obviously, but I don't want to be too close to him. We looked at all different things because we do love the hammock camping thing. One of the things we tried was like a double hammock, and both of us trying to sleep in the same hammock. That didn't even work out a couple of years ago because it was too uncomfortable for two people to be squirreling around in there. But I finally came on these bars, and they are called buddy bars. And it's pretty much the same type of material that you have whenever you're putting together a tent. The aluminum poles with like shock in between them, so they clamp here onto the hammock strap itself, if you can see that. And on each side, and there's another one at the other end, and basically what it does is it spreads the two hammocks apart. Now, of course, Ben and I weigh a lot different. I weigh 200 pounds, he weighs like 60 pounds, so we have to get him into his hammock first, And then when I get in, it puts him up in the sky. But that's fine with me because that means then that he is like safely up above me and away from all the critters and stuff like that. But and then also then inside here we also have rigged up our bug nets, and then we have our rain fly, of course, over top, which is our DD rain fly.
It's the 4x4, isn't it?
I believe it is, yeah. 4x4 means 4 meters by 4 meters.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, that's one of my favorites.
Yep, and that's where we got onto it. Actually, was watching your channel and taking up that advice. So we love it. It gives us a lot of versatility. We have it here for our summer rig, but we've been in here even in the winter. We put it all the way down to the ground, you know, and are able to even close up the ends if we need to when it's cold out. So we absolutely have loved this, and for the weight and the versatility, it really can't be beat.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Boondockers.
I had fully intended on doing some more filming last night when we were sitting around the campfire and stuff, but we were just too into, you know, catching up and enjoying each other's stories and conversations and everything. Before you know it, everyone was getting tired and I hadn't pulled my camera out to do what I wanted to do, but it's all good. Hopefully I got a little bit of entertainment out of this. I enjoyed the weekend, and I can't overemphasize the importance of getting with your people, spending time with your people, escaping the reality of the world for just a tiny little bit of time, and to reconnect with those people that you're close to, but life always pulls you away from them and always prevents you from being able to see them. So very, very important, and it is rejuvenating and uplifting when you can do that. Well, folks, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.